Alright, let's get this thing going. Now, what kind of game do you want to play? The network or home version? Alright then, how many people were you thinking? Alright, tell me, my friend, what do the people call you? Alright, that'll do it. Instructions. Yes or no? What does your little brain desire? Okay, you know what you're doing. Have a nice alter ego.
Choose your alter ego.
Where high culture and pop culture collide.
Welcome to our Sloppy Seconds episode. This one's all about things that come in second. You can think of it as our way of saying, try a little harder next time, loser. All by yourself today, huh? Well, don't worry. I'm going to harass you so much it'll be like having an annoying little sidekick right there next to you. Now then, I hope you packed a lunch, because it's time to get started. Alright, it's time to pick a value by using that buzzer of yours. The total amount for this question is $3,000. I believe this one is called, If at First You Don't Succeed, Make a Sequel. See what you can do with this one. Which of these movies is not a sequel? Aliens, Revenge of the Ninja, Max Dugan Returns, or Airplane 2? Max Dugan Returns wasn't a sequel at all. But I'm still waiting for Max Dugan Returns Episode 1 to come out. I've already bought my tickets. Yep, stood in line for 8 hours in my Max Dugan costume. How about a value? Okay, this one's worth $4,500. The category is pate. Speaking of sequels, I think the problem with Speed 2 Cruise Control was that they strayed too much from the original formula. If instead of a cruise ship they had set Speed 2 on a bus, what would we have seen? A runaway airplane, a runaway parade float, a runaway sailboat, or a runaway bicycle. Okay, now, here's a good answer. That's all I'm saying. A smaller boat would have been just fine. You see, a bus is a fishing boat. You use it to, catch herring. And Dennis Hopper could have even played the evil, out-of-control herring. Like he did in that Waterworld movie. Pick a value. Here's what we're looking at. $4,250. For your enjoyment, toilet humor stinks. You know what I love about kids? The way they hold up one finger for pee-pee and two fingers for poo-poo. I tell you, I wish I could remember that sometimes. Anyway, since he popularized Winston Churchill, George Washington, Napoleon Bonaparte, or Douglas MacArthur. Here's a good answer. That crazy Brit himself, Winston Churchill, became famous for flashing the V is for victory sign during WW2.
Cheerio and good morning, dearest mummy. Please prepare the commode for one of my most glorious poo-poos.
Go ahead and choose a value. Okay, here's what you're looking at. $2,500. Time to deal with the pests. Hello, and welcome to And
Bug
Remember,
Out.
simply buzz in to kill those bugs that don't belong to the set. We're going to be looking at a final round value of $2,500. Okay, batten down the hatches, 'cause we're heading toward the Windy City. Here we go. TV shows set in Chicago. Buzz in when you see one that's not.
We are the West Wing.
Chicago Mobsters.
We are the Banyans. Tommy Tuba Cabot. George Buzz Moran. Johnny Colio. Al Capone. Bill Full-Time Down.
Songs by the band Chicago.
Do not lose. Your inspiration. Art habits of brain. Lucky tomorrow. Sweet home elephant.
Chicago sports teams.
Irish. White Sox. Fire. Lightning.
Chicago schools.
Loyola. DePaul. Northeastern. University of Chicago. DePaul. Northwestern.
Actors who began at the Second City Theater.
Illinois. Bill Murray. Angle. Chris Farley. John Candy. Mary Belafonte. Mike Myers.
Chicago buildings.
Soldier Field, sir.
Well, that was good. Not great, but, not horrible either. Pick a value. This one comes in at $27.50. All right, give it up for tiny jockeys who ride atoms. One question coming right up. Suppose you accidentally mistake the periodic table of the elements for horse racing results. It could happen if you go hydrogen, helium, lithium, oxygen, fluorine, neon, carbon, calcium, nitrogen, or sodium, magnesium, boron. Well, that'll make an exciting story, won't it? Hydrogen, helium, and lithium have the atomic numbers of 1, 2, and 3, so they would appear to have won place and showed.
Helium, you ran a great race today. What's your secret?
Well, I just get plenty of sleep and I try to get out there every day and practice really hard. Hi, Mom.
Go ahead and grab an amount. The amount for this one is $4,000. Your category is going to be, does a dog day afternoon precede a three-dog night? Now, you may not remember it, but at some point in your life, you've heard that song, One by Three Dog Night, right? You know how one is the loneliest number and everything? Okay, well, how about this? According to Three Dog Night, what is 2? The loneliest number since the number 1, a friend you can always count on, a big fat doodly-doo, or an ice cream sundae for me and you. If you believe that 3 Dog Night, 1 is the loneliest number, 2 is the loneliest number since the number 1. Perhaps somebody should introduce numbers 1 and 2 to the concept of deodorant? Buzz in for your amount. For this one, I'll give you $12.50. Well, what do we have here? Oh, the Spud Manatee! Ready? Catch this. If an inexperienced chef accidentally twice baked Mr. Potato Head, what would happen to the Spudly toy? He'd get deep fried in oil, he'd get mashed to a pulp, he'd get chopped into 8 sections, or he'd get boiled until his skin peels off. Should have picked this one. A twice-baked potato involves baking the potato, then mashing it, then, get this, baking it again. Can you imagine? I'd stay away from the liver and onions, too. I think they were playing Operation back there in the kitchen. Go ahead and pick an amount. Let's see the amount on this one. 2,250 smackers. Up next, it ain't over till the urine's been tested. Yes, it's time for another exciting episode of Robot Theater! Today, a scene from sports history.
So, Ben Johnson, how does it feel to win the gold medal in the 100-meter dash? Canada must be very proud of you.
Well, I don't like to brag about how incredibly fast I am, but
Stop! We have just received the results of your drug test. You have tested positive for steroids,
an illegal substance. Your gold medal will go to the second place finisher.
Oh my God! Who ultimately won the gold medal in the men's 100-meter dash at the 1980s? As if he didn't have enough of them already, Carl Lewis was awarded the 88 100-meter gold medal after Ben Johnson was DQ'd. Carl Lewis also won the 92 gold medal after it was revealed that the winner actually crossed the finish line on a motorcycle. Buzz in for the amount. And here's what you can win on this question. $6,500. What in the... I can't read this.
It's time for...
Just unscramble the anagram, buzz in, and type it in. You move fast, you get more cash. The opening value for this question is going to be $6,500. Okay, take a look at this anagram, unscramble the letters, and tell me what you come up with. Deprive incest. Remember, you can't trust a politician. And like most politicians, this one doesn't usually do a whole hell of a lot. You say potato, I say Dan Quayle. Let's see what you got. Start typing and then hit return. Yes, of course, the Vice President of the United States. You can generally spot him at major sporting events. He'd be the guy waving the enormous foam finger, screaming, "I'm number 2! I'm number 2! Woo-hoo! Yeah, in your face, man!" Pick an amount. Let's see what the total amount on this one is. $4,250. Hey, I know. How about if life were a playground, there would be no divorce? Get the wax out of your ears. It's question time. Who must have called a do-over with Melanie Griffith after their first marriage ended? Don Johnson, Antonio Banderas, Michael Douglas, or Kevin Costner? Melanie Griffith was Don Johnson's first and second wife. Yeah, they got divorced and then got remarried. Now might be an appropriate time to offer a collective thanks be to God that he didn't call a do-over when it came to his singing career. Buzz in for the value. The value for this question is $4,250. This category is Be All That You Can Be in polyester. Now, what would this episode be without some mention of that Saks Fifth Avenue of second-hand clothing, the Salvation Army? Suppose the Salvation Army were to declare war on the wealthy. Given where the Salvation Army began, whom would you expect to see leading the charge into battle? The Salvation Army was started in London by a guy named William Booth back in the 1860s.
All right, men, we've got to take that hill. Call headquarters and tell them, oh no, Edmund's down. He's lost his rainbow suspenders. Repeat, he's lost his rainbow suspenders.
Time to choose a value. Okay, keep close tabs on that value. Prepare yourself for the steely gaze of a disserdat. The category for this disserdat question is, just tell me which one is the hot one. Okie dokie, I'm going to read off a list of 7 sets of siblings, real and fictional, and I'd like you to tell me if they are twins or not. As each pair comes up, if they're twins, go ahead and press 1. All right, Charles in charge. You think you know the rules? I'm just going to put 30 seconds on the clock. It's showtime. Brandon and Brenda on 90210. Liam and Noel Gallagher. The Hardy Boys. Matthew and Gus. One more. This mother. That's it. You got 6 out of 7 right. That's nothing to shake a stick at. Let's look at your score. Well, now, doesn't that feel better? Grab a value. Let's see what this one's worth to you. 2,500. Let's see what we got going. When one dick is not enough. Okay, it's analogy time. Get your analogies right here. Pope John Paul I is to Pope John Paul II as Dick York is to Dick Clark, Dick Sargent, Dick Van Patten, or Dick Butkus. Dick Sargent replaced Dick York on Bewitched, just like the equally hilarious Pope John Paul II replaced Pope John Paul I. In fact, now that I think about it, the only difference between the two is that one lived with a witch, while the other condemned witches to the fires of hell, where they would burn in eternal damnation. Huh. Value time. Here's your total value for this one. $4,000. This category is known as, waiter, there's a charro in my soup. Okay, listen very closely. If charro actually excuse me. Oh boy, nothing like seeing your lunch for the second time, huh? Boy, wow, look at this. There's chunks of eggplant and tomatoes and zucchini, peppers all over the place. Thank God I don't have to clean that up, huh? Say, what did I just vomit up? Ratatouille, Hassenpfeffer, chowder, or bouillabaisse? In addition to being a funny word that doesn't sound the way you'd think it would, ratatouille is a vegetable stew made with eggplant, tomatoes, zucchini, and peppers. And now I get to enjoy the delicious taste of ratatouille all over again. I'm joking. That's a dog licking it up. Good boy. Come here. I got some between my teeth. Yeah. Time to pick a value. Well, you've made it this far. That's a good sign. You're almost through, but first, the attack. You should already know how this works. Let's not waste any more time. Need a clue? The second baby in the baby carriage. You know, I'm a second child. Growing up wasn't too bad, except for trying to fit into my older sister's hand-me-downs. Nicely done, huh? Let's see what you did to your score. There it is. Hey, way to go. Who knew that playing with yourself could be so rewarding? You see, this is how those dirty, bad, filthy habits start. Now, lean back, close your eyes, and say, "You don't know Jack!"
general who would become a slave who would become a gladiator who would become a performance artist.
Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to do some of my art for you. I have things from inside that I would like the rest of the world to sort of understand. Wait, whoa, what? No, lions, no lions. I was not anticipating lions in my piece.
Prepare yourself for Gladiator, the artist. This time, his pain is on the inside.